All right, so get this. You're telling me there's practically like a way to feel the Forex market's pulse. That's crazy, like knowing when to really pay attention, not just crossing your fingers and hoping you'll randomly catch the right price swing.
You're catching on already. See, it's not some mystical prediction thing. It's more about like recognizing the patterns, right? The patterns that are kind of baked into how the whole Forex market operates. Specifically, when we're talking about, throughout the day and even more specifically around these things called swing points, that's where the magic happens.
Okay, swing points.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. I got to be honest, that term alone just piques my interest. You sent over this video, ICT Forex, trading the key swing points, and this is what it dives right into, right?
Yeah.
So walk me through it for those who maybe haven't seen it yet. What's the big idea we're dealing with here?
So this inner circle trader, this guy's onto something. Instead of getting totally overwhelmed by this constant stream of data, the fire hose that Forex can be, he breaks it down into these four major swing points. Think of each one as like a potential turning point, right? Where things can get really interesting for traders.
So it's not just about if the market goes up or down, right? It's more about when our N during the day, these shifts, these crucial shifts are more likely to happen.
Exactly. It's like, think of it this way. Everyone's got their daily routine, right? Certain things you do at certain times, it's just how life works. Well, guess what? The Forex market, it's got its own routine too, driven by, things like the opening and closing of major trading hubs around the world.
All right, okay. I'm starting to see where you're going. This is good. This is good. So walk me through these swing points then. What are they exactly, and what makes them so important for any trader to understand?
All right, so let's kick things off with the Asian session opening. It's like, the market's morning coffee, sometimes it's a slow start, just kind of easing into the day, testing the waters. But then other times, bam, it explodes right out of the gate, full speed ahead. And that right there sets the entire tone for the trading day. You just never know which one you're going to get.
Wow. So even if you're not trading during the Asian session, just that opening alone, that could have already set the high or low for like your entire day. That's
Yeah.
wild to think about.
Yeah, that's the thing with these swing points, right? They have this ripple effect. Their influence, it doesn't just stay contained, it goes outward. Now, fast forward a few hours, and we've got the London Open coming into play. This is where things can get really, really interesting. See, the London session, it's got this kind of split personality. It can either keep that momentum going from Asia, ride that wave, or it can completely switch things up with what we call a retracement. Keeps you on your toes, for sure.
So kind of like a wave, right? It's either crashing further down the beach or it's kind of getting pulled back a bit, like regrouping almost.
Yeah.
I like that visual, actually. But why London, of all places? What is it about London? Do they drink a lot of tea over there or something? Is that it?
Huh? I wish it were that simple. No. London's one of the biggest financial hubs in the entire world. So naturally, their trading activity carries a lot of weight, right? It's all interconnected. Now, keep that wave analogy in mind because we're about to head over to the New York Open, our third swing point on this global roller coaster.
Okay, New York, New York. So does New York keep the wave crashing or does it pull it back even further? What's the deal?
Well, honestly, it can do either, but here's what makes the New York Open particularly, how should I say this, sneaky. It often acts as the signal for what traders call continuation plays, and those can really throw people off.
Continuation plays. Okay, all right, now you're really speaking my language. That sounds serious. What does that even mean in the context of, like, Forex? Break that down for me. Continuation plays. Okay, all right, now you're really speaking my language. That sounds serious. What does that even mean in the context of, like, Forex? Break that down for me.
Okay, so picture this. The market, it's been on this upswing all morning, right? Maybe riding that wave we were talking about, straight from the Asian Open, then all of a sudden during the New York Open, boom, it takes a little breather, pulls back a bit. But here's the kicker. Instead of that signaling a full-on reversal, like a lot of traders might think, this little dip, it can actually be a sign that the market's just like catching its breath before it makes another big move upwards. That right there, that's the continuation play in action. Tricky, right?
So it's almost like the market's, I don't know, like faking a U-turn, right?
Yeah.
But then it slams on the gas and just keeps going in that original direction. It's like a head fake on Wall Street or something.
You got it. It's a classic case of like not getting fooled by those initial moves. And the New York Open, man, it's notorious for these kinds of head fakes. Those traders who misread that signal, oh man, they're in for a wild ride.
All right, I'm officially adding continuation play to my Forex vocabulary. That's good stuff. Okay, so we've had our morning coffee with Asia, right? Rode the waves with London and New York. What's left? Is it like time for the after party or something? what happens next on this global trading journey?
You could say that. Now we're talking about the London close, our fourth and final swing point of the day. And let me tell you, it definitely lives up to the hype. Remember how we were talking about how the Asian Open can sometimes set the tone for the entire day, right? Well, the London close, it's often when we see the day's absolute high or low getting locked in. It's like the grand finale.
Yeah, like one final burst of energy before everyone heads home for the night. Makes sense to me.
Exactly. But hold on a second, because there's a twist. As much as that London close can signal those big extremes for the day, those highs and lows, it can also be a really powerful reversal point. Think of it like the tide turning, right? What was flowing in one direction all of a sudden shifts, and you do not want to be caught swimming against the current when that happens, believe me.
Okay, so pay close attention to that London close. Got it. Because it could either be the grand finale we were talking about, or it could be the start of a whole new act, a whole new chapter in the story that's Forex for you, always keeping us on our toes.
Precisely. And this is where things get really interesting in the video, I think. Remember earlier when you asked about that Power 3 strategy this trader mentioned? It's been in the back of my mind this whole time.
Oh yeah, it's been bugging me too that he didn't really explain it fully, like what makes it so powerful? What's the secret sauce? He's got to give us something to work with.
Well, he doesn't give away his entire playbook, obviously. He's going to keep some secrets, right? But he does drop a pretty big clue, I think. He talks about how the London close, especially when it lines up with certain, longer-term trends, those bigger picture trends, can create these, like, insanely high probability trading setups. It's kind of mind-blowing, honestly.
Wait, hold on a second. You're saying he combines this knowledge of, like, daily swing points, this really granular stuff, with, like, what, weekly or even monthly charts? He's looking at the big picture, too.
Yeah, you got it. He's talking about spotting those moments where the short term, that day-to-day rhythm of the market that we've been breaking down, where it syncs up with those longer term waves. And that's where his Power 3 strategy comes in. It's about recognizing those specific setups where those multiple levels of market activity, they're all pointing in the same direction. He even shows a chart in the video, and you can see it clear as day, where the London close lines up perfectly with a key support level, creates this like a massive buying opportunity.
So it's like all the stars are aligning, right? But instead of stars, it's like swing points and support lines and all this other technical stuff. That's some next level trading right there.
Yeah.
No wonder they call it Power 3. This is a lot to take in.
Exactly. And it just goes to show you, right? These swing points, they're not just some isolated thing. They're a part of something much bigger, this whole interconnected system. It's all connected.
This is blowing my mind a little bit, to be honest. Okay, but let's take a step back for a second, right? I love diving into the nitty-gritty, all the details, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But for someone listening who's maybe not glued to the charts all day, every day, why does all this swing point stuff, why does it even matter to them? This is blowing my mind a little bit, to be honest. But let's take a step back for a second, right? I love diving into the nitty-gritty, all the details. That's why we're here. But for someone listening who's maybe not glued to the charts all day, every day, why does all this swing point stuff, why does it even matter to them?
That's a great question. And it's something this video, it really made me think about too. You see, even if you're not like, a hardcore day trader, someone who's trying to catch every single pip, just understanding these swing points, it gives you this incredible context. It's like a whole new perspective.
Context for what exactly? Give me an example.
For everything. Like, take the news, for example. Think about it. Suddenly there's a headline blaring about how some currency is, like, spiking at the New York Open, right? But instead of that just being random market chaos to you, something you just shrug off, you understand that, hey, this is probably tied to that continuation play setup we were talking about. It all starts to click.
Okay, so instead of getting all swept up in the frenzy, the hype, you can like take a breath and say, okay, this actually kind of makes sense given, what I know about the market's rhythm. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Exactly. It's like you've got this secret decoder ring now for the financial news. You can see through the matrix, basically. But even beyond that, just having this awareness, this understanding of how the market kind of ebbs and flows throughout the day, it can impact your own trading, even if you're only checking your portfolio like once a day.
Because even if you're not sitting there watching every single tick, every little movement, knowing about these key moments, these swing points, it can at least help you like decide when to maybe buy or sell, right? More strategically, I'm guessing.
That's the idea, yeah. It's all about tilting the odds in your favor, even just a little bit. And hey, let's be honest, even if you're not Even if trading isn't your thing at all, even if you're not trading at all, just understanding these concepts, it can make you a more informed investor overall. Knowledge is power,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, okay, you sold me. I'm convinced. Swing points there just for the pros, that's for sure. I'm feeling much more confident already.
Not at all, and that's the beauty of it. But there is one more thing I kind of want to highlight from the video, something that really stood out to me. He mentions kind of in passing that what he's showing, like those four major swing points we broke down, he's like, this is just scratching the surface, guys.
Wait, hold on, seriously. There's more. After all this, you're telling me there's even more to learn about, like Forex market timing. How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Oh man, you have no idea. He says straight up, he could do a 6-hour deep dive on swing points alone and still not cover everything. I believe him. There are nuances within each session, variations depending on, what currency pair you're looking at, what you're trading at that time. And then on top of all of that, there's how these swing points, how they interact with other technical indicators that are out there. It gets crazy complicated really fast.
So it's like this video, it's like he gave us the key to this whole new map, but it's really up to us to go out there and explore all the different paths,
Yeah.
find the hidden treasures, all that good stuff. That's kind of exciting when you think about it, actually.
Exactly. And that's what's so, I don't know, I think that's what's so exciting about this whole thing, honestly. It's not about, memorizing a bunch of rules. It's more about, opening your mind to a whole new way of looking at the market, a way that kind of empowers you to ask better questions and ultimately, hopefully, make more informed decisions.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up. I'm ready to dive even deeper into this world of swing points, all these Forex strategies, you know, Power 3, here I come.
Hmm.
I'm coming for you.
That's the spirit. And for our listeners, if any of this if this whole deep dive has sparked even just a little bit of curiosity in you, don't stop here. Don't let it end here. There's a whole universe of knowledge out there just waiting to be explored.
So go ahead. Take that first step. Explore those Forex forums. Experiment with what you've learned today. And hey, who knows, you might just discover your own Power 3 strategy along the way, right?
Happy trading!
Until next time, everyone.